Good morning and welcome to The Bold Show. This is the new brand of the show, and of course we'll be calling it The Bold. Next year we shall be rolling out the full branded studio just around this. Kalonzo Musyoka's return to Azimio la Umoja did not just take one night or a phone call between Raila and Kalonzo Musyoka, but it was a continuous process that had to take a lot, including reshuffling Raila Odinga's cabinet. And after Raila handed over the Senate Speaker to the Western team, that is Kenneth Marende, and the Lands Docket to the Coast team by Hassan Joho, the reports are emerging on some four other cabinet slots that Kalonzo Musyoka demanded from Azimio la Umoja apart from the chief minister, in a bid to allow him, or rather for him to accept to support Raila Odinga's presidential bid. However, these demands also pitted him against Jubilee parties, Uhuru Kenyatta, because there was a contradiction on the posts that Kalonzo Musyoka demanded that then were clashing with President Uhuru Kenyatta's takes. But all in all, it is one that is a blend of reformists that had worked with Raila all through in the trenches, pointing out to a very seamless transition after the August 9th general election. Welcome, guys, and I want us to look at this in details. Now, Raila's party was also clashing with Jubilee, because after they handed over the Senate Speaker to Kenneth Marende, Jubilee Party had invested their stake and demanded that Raila Odinga's presidency hands over the Speaker of the National Assembly to the Jubilee Party. Now, in the negotiations, it is emerging that Raila's party, or rather Raila's handlers, were demanding that they would be happy to hand over that to Jubilee if and only if it will be given to Sabina Chege, because Sabina Chege has been a vocal figure in Raila Odinga's campaign scam. Now, Jubilee, I want us to look at, that was just in the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly. Martha Karua party is going to take the AG, Attorney General is going to retire in Raila Odinga's government, and so that slot will directly go to Martha Karua's appointee. Fred Gumo and Henry Kosgei, who had worked with Raila all through in the ODM, and the owner of ODM, Mugambi Imanyera, are also making a comeback, because I think the person that the vehicle that Raila Odinga has been using in the three general elections from 2017, that vehicle was handed over to him by Mugambi Imanyera after Dan Manzo and Kalonzo Musyoka ran away with the ODMK, which will later turn to be called the Wiper Democratic Movement. So this is what is happening. I want to look at some two aspects before I hand over. I will look at the ministers and how this is playing out in that cabinet, or rather how that cabinet will look like. Raila's party, the ODM party, had demanded that they be handed devolution, industrialization, education, and the interior. Now, this is the catch. The devolution is to be, Raila had already spotted Kivutha Kibwana from the Ukambani, but again this position will be a balance between Kivutha and Charity Ngilu. If Charity Ngilu loses the governor's seat, then there will be a probability for her to be absorbed back. Industrialization is earmarked for Mukhisa Kitui, who had worked with Raila for some time and even worked in the United Nations. Transport and education are not yet spotted, but Raila was keen on the interior and he had spotted Charles Owino, who was implored to step down on Kisia gubernatorial race as running mate to Gumbo, but Jubilee Party is also keen on that position so that they can retain Fred Matiang'i. So there is still not a point of agreement there, and that is why you will when Raila was making the appointments, most of what has not been done. But then finance had gone to Western. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just up to that level, there is something you can see, that there is no Luo name that have been floated so far in that cabinet. And that tells you the mindset of Raila Amolo Odinga, that it is not about what the community is going to get. And of course, he has the national outlook. One thing you can see is that the said cabinet will have a very colorful national outlook. So far, it's only Charles Owino that has been spotted on one. But finance handed over to Oparanya, Speaker of the Senate handed over to Kenneth Marende, and Mukhisa Kitui also being on the spot industrialization. So Western Kenya has gathered 3 powerful positions on that cabinet. He is the president and is coming from ODM party, but just through him he has handed over devolution to Kivuda Kibwana. That means if Kalonzo is given some other 3 and he decides that he's going to give it to the Ukambani nation, then they're most likely going to benefit. But of course you have to understand that some of this will not be handed. I think even if the positions will be handed to political parties, but Raila Odinga will have a final say on who to pick, because there is also the issue of regional balance and groups, minority groups and disability. I also read that Raila is looking on incorporating one person with disability in that cabinet, because that will be so much important, as just try to really see what the country wants. The first time we might have a deputy president, and there is just a lot of stake that is coming into this. Now, Jubilee Party, apart from those Jubilee Party demanded some other cabinet slots, and now that is what was pitting them against one Kalonzo Musyoka. Now they've demanded that Mama.
Hello.
I shoot. Jubilee Party has demanded the positions of wealth, of health, where they probably seem to want to retain not Muturi, Kagwe, water and irrigation. Now this water and irrigation is the same docket that Kalonzo Musyoka is also demanding, and defense and interior and ICT, which ICT is not most probably questionable, but of course Raila would prefer the ICT to go to Joe Musheru or any other person, but with Wakiaga or any other stalwart on the ODM side. So these positions are a bit of interchangeable. Now, the powerful positions between Kalonzo has demanded that apart from the chief minister, he's be given water, health, the powerful energy and tourism. I was telling a friend that Hassan Joho will be given tourism. The lands docket was just a trap. Most probably Raila would hand Hassan Joho this tourism. Now these 3 positions is the health, energy and water and tourism. Water is also pitting Kalonzo Musyoka against Uhuru's party, because Uhuru's party also want that water. Health is also pitting Uhuru's party. Health is also pitting Kalonzo against Uhuru's party, and of course those are the 8. And energy is a very powerful, one of the most powerful dockets is that energy. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make up of this, but I've also drawn my few observations in light of this cabinet and what is really playing out in this negotiation. Raila Odinga's cabinet outlook is going to be dominant of reformists. Now, these reformists does not mean they're political leaders, because not necessarily political leaders, because some of them have been in the corridors of justice for some time, and because of they share the same agenda on economic revival. It would be so shameful in a government if a minister like Kivuda Kibwana, a minister like Mohisa Kitui is involved in a corruption scandal, mega corruption scandal. So what I see is the reformist card, even going into the cabinet, will really help to tame corruption, because then these are peers and they are also senior members of this country. They're not just young people. I also see a smooth transition, and the transition will be very seamless. If you watch the National Prayer Breakfast and the Kenya Kwanza campaign rallies, one thing that they've been pointing out is the issue of transition. Whether the president is going to transition or rather hand over power to the next president smoothly. But from what I see, there is going to be a smooth transition. The transition, in my understanding, it's not a responsibility of the president. I don't think the president doesn't have an obligation not to hand over power. Smooth transition means first round win. First round win. The transition is a bit is only dented when there is a rerun and maybe court cases here and after the other. That will delay the transition. But with the kind of the stakes that is in Raila Odinga's presidency, it seems there is going to be a concerted effort, and of course everyone else is going to put his energy into this to make sure that Raila makes to the presidency. This would be a very critical aspect, and I think that is why perhaps William Ruto team are not only a bit tensed, or they keep on piling pressure on the government that there is maybe a rigging scheme, or there is a scheme to hand over power to Raila. That most probably is there. Martha Karua was Raila's choice. Martha Karua was Raila's. This is a decision that many people had not been agreeing, and many people had been feeling that Raila maybe differed with Uhuru, and Uhuru maybe handed over Raila, Martha Karua to Raila, so that Raila would accept a result. I can even challenge this by saying this. If there is someone that will tell that let's go to court, that will be Martha Karua. In case there will be anything, that will be Martha Karua. And I can also say, in the light of what I am seeing, she's going to be a very powerful person in Raila Odinga's presidency. The role that she's going to play is not a role that one Kalonzo Musyoka, and I'm not degrading Kalonzo, but because of her political nature and their mantra in leadership, Martha Karua's mantra is what Raila Odinga would need. Because with this kind of cabinet where you have reformists, you will not take such a low demeanor, a calm politician like Kalonzo Musyoka to handle this team. The person that will face off a minister in the caliber of Mohisa Kitui, a minister in the caliber of let's say Kivuda Kibwana, a minister in the caliber of very powerful people like Fred Matiang'i, C.S. Kagwe, that will take Martha Wangari Karua. And I can actually say that the stakes in Raila's presidency are high. Ladies and gentlemen, what's at stake? And I am also keen on Peter Kenneth and Shebesh.